You know, President Theodore Roosevelt once wrote, "We have room for but one language here, and that is the English language. For we intend to see that the crucible turns our people out as Americans of American nationality and not as dwellers in a polyglot boarding house." Seems like common sense. President Trump signing an executive order making English the official language for the first time. According to a 2022 poll, nearly 80% of Americans believe that English should be the official language of the United States. But before Trump's executive order, the national effort to make it happen has faced strong headwinds from Washington. Well, that may finally be about to change. Joining me now to discuss is one of the driving forces behind codifying President Trump's action on English into law, Alabama Congressman Robert Aderholt. Congressman, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here. First, your reaction to the executive order and the president taking this first step toward realizing this goal that a lot of folks have really talked about for a long time, but nobody's really moved on.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Well, no, I applaud the move by President Trump. And actually, this has been an issue that has been percolating for many, many years. I remember Newt Gingrich talking about this issue probably 25 years ago or longer. And I think there's one thing that we need to do is have moving toward direction of unifying this country as opposed to dividing. Now, of course, I know some people would say this is dividing this country, but I think it does the opposite. I think it unifies this country because it causes all people to be speaking one language. And I don't think there's anything that unifies a country more than to have a unifying language. And so it doesn't mean that people cannot speak at their own homes or whatever, but the official language of the United States should be English.
Congressman, you have introduced the bill in the House to try to codify these executive orders, this executive order. Talk to us about why you believe that that needs to happen, that legislation needs to happen in addition to this executive action.
Well, first and foremost, as you know, when you have an executive order, it only lasts as long as the president in office. But at the end of the day, he won't always be president of the United States, as no president will ever be president for forever. And so when he goes out of office, the next president could change it. And so therefore, putting this into law and codifying it just makes all the sense in the world, so we're not reverting back to multiple languages in this country. I think actually most people would think that English is the official language of the United States, and probably most would be surprised to learn that it's not the official language. So this just really codifies what I think most people believe is the right thing to do and probably is already in existence.
Congressman, like you said, this is a very popular issue. It's a 70-30, 80-20 issue. Why has it been so difficult to advance the legislation that you've introduced for so many years?
I think because some people see that as dividing, and that is, like I said, far from the truth. I think it unifies because nothing would be more disunifying for a nation than to have pockets of our country speaking different languages. And you may say, well, you know, I want to go into a public office and I want to see forms in different languages. You know, if I move to another country in Europe or Asia or wherever, I would not expect that I go into another country and they would have English available for me.
Right.
Sure. I would if I moved to another country, which I don't have any plans to do at this time, then I would actually be receptive of the culture that I'm going to. Yeah. So I think it's very unifying.
Yeah, you know, when my family came over from Italy in the 1920s, they understood that in order for them to be successful, they had to learn English. They had to understand the language. They needed to be able to be conversant in English, and clearly that culture has changed over time. Do you think that there should be more stringent English language requirements for citizenship, for instance?
Well, I think that would be an excellent idea. I mean, obviously, when someone comes here, it helps them integrate more easier to find a job opportunity, to participate in the democratic process when they understand English. So obviously, I know that languages are more difficult for some people than the others, but I have found that if someone is immersed in any language, they learn it pretty quickly. So I do think we need to do everything we can to encourage English if you want to live in the United States of America. And of course, obviously, if you want to live in another country, that would be a different situation.
Congressman, I just have a minute left with you. You're on the House Committee on Appropriations. Give us an update, if you could, on the discussions that are going on in Washington to try to close the daylight between the House reconciliation proposal and where the Senate is right now.
As far as reconciliation goes, we passed our reconciliation bill, which, as President Trump has referred to as that one big, beautiful bill. And instead of having two bills that the Senate looks like they're moving toward, they have not moved in that direction officially at this point. So right now, I think they're deferring to the House. That could change, but we're moving forward with that one big, beautiful bill that President Trump has seemed to indicate that he thinks is best. And I think our leadership, Speaker Johnson in particular, knows it would be difficult to get two distinct bills passed in the House, especially with our close majority, and therefore having a one bill to try to work on and get our efforts behind would probably be easier.
All right. We will wait and see. Alabama Congressman Robert Aderholt, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate you being
good
here.
to be with you.